D'Angelo Russell goes to the Mavs, $13 million.
Well, let's start with SGA real quick.
Yeah,
so
he's good. He got a supermax.
Got a supermax deal.
There's no need to really analyze it further than that.
It's a large sum of money, and then we move on over to.
But that's also, but also is in the collective bargaining agreement that you can do that.
Yeah. And he's getting the amount of money that he probably deserves, like MVP, best player on the team that won the title. So of course they're going to give him money, and he's not the only guy that's going to get rewarded on that team. You have him sign a contract. AJ Mitchell and Jalen Williams, the tall one, both already signed extensions. Yeah. And you've got most likely J-Dub is going to sign an extension this summer. So is Chet Holmgren. So everyone's getting their deals in for the Thunder. So they've got another year or two, and then all of a sudden it gets expensive. But if you're them, they've got the infrastructure built up where they have 15 players on a roster, and they're still only going to be a tax team this season. Is their first year they'll be in the tax. Last year they weren't a taxpayer because they didn't go over the cap, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So SGA extension.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's earned his money. I mean, he's been in the league now for a while. He's paid his dues. He had a phenomenal season. Ended up getting the MVP, which means virtually nothing to me. I mean, so I don't get I don't get big on that stuff. I think it's great because I'm sure he got a bonus for it. The recognition is great, but the reality is, the reality is they won the championship. That's what it's about. Who was the MVP of the 2012 season? I mean, do you know? I mean, people would guess LeBron, but I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, because people don't remember that stuff. Yeah. They remember who won, right? And so, I mean, it's...
This now brings us, though, to the other piece of the NBA offseason, which is to the trade market as well, which is where I want to go with the next person involved here, which involves Penn State connections, of course, because Jalen Pickett is on the Denver Nuggets, and now the brother of Puff Johnson is a Denver Nugget, Cam Johnson. Gets traded for Michael Porter Jr. and a first-round pick, swapping with the Nets. So MPJ, with his large contract, goes to Brooklyn. He looks like he's going to be there. They get a first-round pick in 2032, presumably when Jokic either is no longer a Nugget or is no longer in his prime. So that pick could have high variance. And Denver gets Cam Johnson. At the same time, Denver went back and said, you know what? Our championship team was really good. Let's go sign a player that was on that team in Bruce Brown Jr. So he is back on a 1-year, $3 million deal for the Nuggets.
Yes, and Jordan Clarkson is going to sign with the Knicks.
Jordan Clarkson is a New York Knick.
Yeah, which changes nothing. Kevon Looney, 2-year deal with the New Orleans Pelicans, leaves Golden State, changes nothing.
In terms of other
there's a lot of things that just change nothing here. I hate to ruin people's days. It doesn't change anything.
Let me go through and list some things out here. So the first one, we'll start with the Celtics. Luke Cornett signed with the Spurs, 4 years, $41 million. It's a good payday for him.
But he'll back up Wembanyama, and that's what they need. They just need somebody, and Cornett will
He's a good big man.
He'll eat up some minutes and give them some good minutes out there.
He's there. The Bucks retained their free agents, but Gary Trent Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., Taurean Prince. The Grizzlies went out, grabbed Cam Spencer and Santi Aldama back. They got Santi Aldama 3 years, $52.5 million. They went and signed Ty Jerome from the Cavs, 3 years, $28 million for Ty Jerome. The Clippers brought back Nick Batum and then signed Brook Lopez from the Bucks. People thought Brook Lopez would be a Laker. The Lakers spent their money on Jake LaRavia instead.
That's nice.
They don't have a big man. You'd think you'd want to get Luka Doncic, a big man who can run to the rim and do things.
No.
I don't know who they have on their roster right now. The Rockets have had the most business so far. They brought back Fred VanVleet, of course, Jeff Green, Aaron Holiday, Jayshawn Tate. They signed Clint Capella, 3 years, $21.5 from the Hawks to bring him back to Houston. And they went out and signed the Lakers' Dorian Finney-Smith, 4 years, $53 million. Another big wing 3-and-D player.
But they traded for Kevin Durant.
He replaces more of the Dylan Brooksy role. He's not going to be the guy guarding everybody.
Dylan Brooks is
but he can guard people. You got to acknowledge that.
No, he's just, for the most part, he is excellent enough to be in the league, but he's just another guy.
Yes.
Right? He gets publicity because of
the
antics on the court, but he is a jag, just another guy.
The Detroit Pistons.
Kevin Durant is not just another guy.
No, he is the guy. The Detroit Pistons signed Karis LeVert on a 2-year, $29 million deal from the Hawks.
Good player.
The starting point guard for the Dallas Mavericks through probably December, January is going to be D'Angelo Russell on a 2-year, or $12 million deal. He is the newest Mav, of course, because Kyrie Irving is going to be out until December, January with his ACL tear. We already discussed the Cavs bringing back Sam Merrill, 4 years, $38 million. And then going down the roster here, Luka Garza is the newest Celtic, 2 years, $5 million. They needed just somebody. For me, the team that has made the best business so far this offseason, which I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on.
I think the Atlanta Hawks have done well.
The Atlanta Hawks. Luke Kennard, 1 year, $11 million. He can shoot the lights out of the ball, which is what you need him to do.
Yep.
And they signed and traded for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. 4 years, $62 million for him. So it's about the mid-level exception for $15.5 million is that number. They have a really good roster. And I wanted to talk about them a little bit more because the East is in this place
I thought you want to talk about Mike Brown with the.
We'll discuss the Knicks in a second, Steve. Don't beat me to the punch here. So we're sitting here in the East. The Celtics are not going to be the best team in the East next year.
No.
They have a whole new roster right now. Their starting rotation includes players who have not been on the team, or Xavier Tillman, I think, is their starting center at this moment in time. Like, they've got a weird roster. The Nets, bad. Raptors, no idea. Sixers, are they healthy? Then you go to the Central. Well, the Knicks are there. They're going to be a good team again. We'll assume they'll be in the top 4 of the East.
Sure.
Bulls, no. Cavs, yes. Pacers, Halliburton's hurt. That is a whole toss-up to make. They could go. They're going to be in the playoffs, but where, we don't know. The Bucks, is Giannis there? We don't know. The Pistons should be, again, a good team, but Then you've got the Magic, again, should be a good team, but we don't know. Hornets, no. Heat, no. Wizards, no. So you think there's a power vacuum in the East. The Cavs are there, and the Knicks are there. Who else can join them in that top 3, top 4? We give you the Atlanta Hawks. They have Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Kristaps Porzingis, Onyeka Okongwu. Now they add in Luke Kennard, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They have Zachariah Risachet, of course, the number 1 pick last year. They drafted Asa Newell out of Georgia. So you add him into that group. And you've got guys, whether it's a Vit Krejci or Kobe Buffkin, who can end up playing a role on that team as well. But they're 9 players deep, 9 strong rotational players on that team. You've got guys who can guard. You've got guys who can shoot. You've got players who can mix and match positions. If they want to go with Kristaps at the 5, they could, and they can add in Nah as a 3, move Daniels to the 2, Daniels to the 3, Jalen Johnson to the 4. Like, they can mix and match players everywhere. I think they had a really good offseason so far, and they're only adding players to their team. They see the fact that the East is what it is, which is just a mishmash of teams.
I mean, look, Cleveland's really good.
Cleveland's really good.
And nobody talks about them.
Cleveland's the best team, but they even lost players. They lost Ty Jerome this offseason. So they have one less guy, and he was a 6th man of the year candidate last year. So now he's off their roster. So you lose him. They trade Isaac Okoro for Lonzo Ball. So, but the point here is Cleveland lost Ty Jerome. So they are hypothetically a weaker team. They're the only team that was really, really, really good in the East. The Knicks are there. They're going to be a top 4 seed. The Hawks think we can be a top 4 seed with them. And I don't blame them because they have bar Luke Kennard and Trae Young. Everyone can defend. Like, it's pretty much what you need. They might want to get another center in there somewhere to just add depth behind Okongwu because they got rid of Clint Capella. But that is a good team. The question then becomes...
And by the way, Indiana loses Miles Turner.
Indiana lost Miles Turner. Did that just happen?
Yeah, 4-year, $107 million deal with Milwaukee.
Miles Turner, 4 years, 107. Well, that's a big deal for the Bucks. I'm guessing that means they're hoping to not lose Giannis now in a trade because they've got Miles Turner.
Turner can play. He's a good player.
And that probably...
Inside out, good player.
Yeah, and that most likely also hurts Indiana more because they lose Miles Turner, who was a key piece on their team last season.
Yeah.
How do they deal with the fact they don't no longer have him? He's been on the trade block for, what, a decade? Pretty much he came in the league and was on the trade block. On their roster as we speak, their only other center is Tony Bradley, and they also have Isaiah Jackson as well. So those are their two backup centers. Of course, their team currently as constructed is Andrew Nemhard, Ben Mathurin, Aaron Nesmith, Pascal Siakam, and Isaiah Jackson most likely as their front five because of the injury to Tyrese Halliburton. It's an interesting time with the NBA and the trades and the signatures going on everywhere. It's pretty bland, but again, like, we just don't know. We're waiting for a lot of shoes to drop. Like, is Trae Young going to sign an extension? Because that's the question the Hawks has. If he doesn't sign an extension, he's gone next year.
Oh, no. If he doesn't sign an extension, I mean, they're going to have to go out and buy a basketball because he keeps it all the time.
You're not wrong. So what happened to Atlanta?
He's one of those guys I look at and go, I would not want him on my team. No way.
So what happens with Atlanta and Trae Young? We don't know.